So Blockers, which is a bawdy comedy written by Brian and Jim Keir and directed by Jay Cannon, who wrote Pitch Perfect. And as you'll probably know if you've seen the advert, there's a picture of a big
elephant,
a male hen, and then the word Blockers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
a
heard
picture of
about
a big
that.
elephant. Why? Because it's a film that's euphemistically called Elephant Blockers.
Could be bed blockers,
Bed blockers.
beta blockers.
Oh, I see. Bed blockers. Fine.
I'm
Beta
just thinking
blockers.
of other things with blockers.
Yeah, no, okay. So it's basically a high school prom movie about the parents. So what happens is a group of variously divorced, single, difficult parents of 3 girls discover that their respective daughters have made a pact to lose their virginity on prom night. So the parents decide to block them. That's the setup. Here's a scene from before the discovery when the parents are just suspicious but letting their kids go off to prom.
Bye, Mom. Have fun, honey. I will. Okay. Bye, Dad.
Remember, stab, turn, drag.
I don't have the knife, Dad.
Yes, you do. Check your clutch.
She said.
Hey, it's been a pleasure, sir. I really, I'm honored. Oh, intense professional grip. Cheers. Take it easy, big guy. Hey, you guys have a good night too, you know?
Thank you.
See that smirk? What was up with that smirk?
You are intense.
So Leslie Mann, Ike Barinholtz, John C. Well, Cena. You were having the whole kind of pronunciation
Yes.
about how you're going to pronounce that. Cena.
How are you going to say it?
Well, I was going to say Cena, but I think I may be wrong. I think that's right.
Have
Anyway,
you seen it?
that's very good.
Baby, have you seen it?
So it's a sort of fairly standard role reversal comedy. The deal is that the parents are meant to be grown up, but they end up acting more childishly than the kids. And in order to emphasise this, in following their kids on prom night, it leads them through a succession of dances and parties in which they basically have to act like kids to get to the next level, to get to the next place. And it's also, I mean, on the one hand, it's it's a film which is a lot less blokey than these kind of bawdy comedies tend to be. There's a brief bit of full frontal nudity, which for once was male rather than female, which is astonishing that one even notices this sort of stuff. But it is, we still live in a world in which that is unusual. It's also a movie which allows its protagonists to be different. And compare this, for example, with Neighbours, which I talked of before as being like a kind of, Animal House with all the intelligence taken out. That said, I saw it in a screening in which people were laughing an awful lot, and I didn't laugh as much as my colleagues. And at the end of it, somebody I know quite well leaned over and said, "You didn't enjoy that at all, did you, Mark?" And what they meant was that they hadn't heard me guffawing, they hadn't heard me laughing. And I thought it was fine. And there were things about it that I liked. Apparently, the script was on the blacklist for a while. This is the list of unmade scripts that people think should be made because they're inventive and intelligent. I suppose my problem was simply that I'm not a big fan of the gross out stuff that we now have to have. And there are things like there is an extended, I don't know how to best describe this. There's an extended, anatomically difficult beer chugging sequence, which goes on for way too long and just seems to be there entirely because this is the moment at which these comedies have to have one of those sequences. And I just find that a little bit wearisome. But I thought it was fine. I could see what it was trying to be, even though I couldn't quite get on board with what it was. But I thought it was okay, and I chuckled a couple of times. I didn't enter into the full embrace of laughter that some other members of the audience did. But I thought it was okay.